Okay. What I'm going to do a curve from objects. I'm going to duplicate edge. And I'm going to select this, select that, select that, select that, select that, and select that. And make sure that there are no holes in my game anywhere. Like a little thing, like if there was a hole right there, could like ruin the whole thing. And I want to do a Control J to join those to make sure that that's good. That's a closed curve. Okay. Now, what I can do with this, right, is that I can now do a pipe. Okay, and I can look at what width I want that pipe to be. Right? And now I have this pipe. And I have the surfaces, right? So what I can do now is to do a pipe and what we call a pipe and split. It's called a pipe split and blend. A pipe split and blend. Pipe split and blend. Okay, that's another fancy way of doing a fillet when your fillets don't work right. Okay, so now I want to do a split. Select object to split. We're going to split that. Select the cutting object. We're going to get that pipe like that. And I'm going to take this. I'm going to hide it. I've got that polysurface object right there. That was sort of like that space that that pipe occupied. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to hide that curve too, because that's my business, right? And now I've got what? I've got these two surfaces, right? And I could do if I wanted to, a cheap way to do it is that I could do a sweep 2, right? I could draw a line over here and do a sweep 2. Solve it that way, right? But now I can do a blend. And this is the segment of the first edge. This may work. Oops. Try it again. Nope, there's a problem right over here. Oh, remember? I told you about that. Try it again. Get that. Did I get that? You can't miss out on any of these little pieces. You got to get it all. I got to be careful to click really close to my edges when I do this. That's the kind of stuff that could drive you crazy. So that's my first edge, right? Let me do the second edge. And you notice how I've got that little piece right there that I don't want to miss out on when I come around there. And I always do it in the same direction. And you click near the end. See, like right there? And I'll take that polysurface edge there. You want to click near the edge. Click near the edge, like so. And I got that little piece right over there. Oh, and there goes my continuity lines, right? Now, what I want to do, you notice how this one's pointing up and that one's pointing in that direction? You got to adjust that seam. And I'm going to move it over here. And I'm going to move this seam right here. Over here like that. So they're right underneath each other. like that. And this one might need to be moved over just a wee tad, touch a little bit there, like that. And let's see. Look at that. Look at that nice little blended surface in between those two. Isn't that cute? Okay, and I'm gonna go for tangency on both. I could go for position on both and get a nice sharp chamfer-like edge. I go with curvature. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to go for position on one, and I'm going to go for tangency on the other. So it moves in there really nice like that. Okay? So I get something that looks like that. And then I click on OK. And now I got that, got that, got that, and join those bad boys together, and look at that. And if you were to do a rendered view of that, that looks nice. Look at that. And where's my little scroll wheel? That's right there like that. And I can now deal with that. What I want to do with that is that I want to take this and I want to fillet my edges on that. And I'm going to get that edge right there, that edge right there. And I'm going to set all to point, what am I going to set all to? Point 1. And I'm going to hit enter. And I'll bring this back. Check that out. Last little detail, because Professor Scott's never happy, but just the obvious. I'm going to turn that off. And I'm going to turn this on, and I'm going to turn on my center snap, and I'm going to get a point object. I want to place a point in the center of that. Why do I want to do that? Because he's funny that way. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get my cylinder object. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to turn off that center snap. And I'm going to come over here on one of these poles, and I'm going to add like that, just like that, right? And let me go to my perspective window, and I'm going to drag that up like that so that that intersects that like that, right? Everybody sees what's coming now? What's coming next? Okay, array polar. The center of the array is what? I turn on my point snap. Oops, wrong object. I want to select that, do my array polar. The center of the array is right there on that point object. And let's do 11, odd numbers always. Bang, like that. And now we can take these, select all of these. Group them. Come back once again. Do a Boolean difference. Subtract from that. Subtract with that. And check that out. Now we can go back here, bring that back, and we'll go to our perspective window, and we've got that detail like that. Okay? From there, the next step, we can begin to cut up the body, and I want to show you some different approaches that you can take to detailing the body. Okay, one thing I don't like about this is just the way that, you know, this is like nice and smooth along the edges. I might want to grab a notch out of that. So let me go into my ghosted mode. And in order to do that, what I might do, I'm going to do a, that's just a little bit below that. I'm going to do a curve from object, duplicate edge. Okay, and I'm going to grab this edge right there and this edge right there. Okay, and I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to grab that, and then I'm going to join those together. Now, what I could do, I could pipe straight through this, right? But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to cheat it a little bit. just so I don't run into any drama. Because if I went in and tried to pipe this edge right here, I might run into some problems in there. I might run into some problems with the way that those surfaces intersect. So I'm gonna cheat it just a little bit, and I think you'll forgive me when I do this. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my split command, and I'm going to use my point toggle. And what that allows me to do, that allows me to choose a point at which I'll split it. I'm going to split it there, and I'm going to split it there, like that. Okay, and I'm going to hit enter. And so now I can get rid of that part of the curve, and I can get rid of that part of the curve right there. And now I have this curve like that. And what am I going to do along that pipe? Oh, I gave it away. What am I going to do along that curve? I'm going to do a pipe and diff, right? So I'm going to pipe that. But this time I'm going to use a round cap, and I'm going to make it really nice, and because I'm just doing a notch here. So I'm going to do like that. And if I wanted to, I could go along and add like another one. Let me find this spot right here. Slightly larger there. And do a slightly larger one there. I got this point snap on. That's what's causing that. Make that like that. And we'll go back into I got to make a small one here so that it transitions down to there. And I'm going to do a slightly larger one here. And I know it's probably screwing up the look of my surface, but I don't care. Woo, check that out. That's kind of funky, actually. Okay, and I want to delete that curve because I don't need it. Oh. And I want to get that curve and delete it because I don't need it. And now I could do a difference. And I'm going to subtract from that surface, subtract with that. I don't care what you had to do in order to make it work. Just make it work. Okay, and there we go. Check that out. Wow, 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 wow. It's like the Pac-Man mouse. And of course I could come back along here and fillet that edge, and on it goes. But it's pretty cool. I do a variable fillet where this value would be really small, and it might get a little larger as I move through here. Now, the last thing that I want to show you, we're going to apply the same sort of like technique, right? Instead of like duplicate edge, we're going to use this really cool command called extract iso curve. So we're going to type in extract iso curve, and we're going to select this surface, and you notice that here now we can select an iso curve from this surface to extract. Right now the direction is in V. Remember I talked about surface space and how we describe surface space, and what were the two directions of surface space? One was V. What was the other one? Right on. My youngins are learning. I like that. They're starting to sound like P. Scott students. It makes my heart feel glad. And I'm going to grab this one right here, and I'm going to grab this one right here, right? I'm going to switch the direction now to U, and I'm going to grab that one right there. And let me see, do I want one up here? Do I want one up here? Yeah, I'm going to grab this one right here. Or what do I want, another one? I'm going to grab this one. I want to go that way. We're going to do it like that? Yeah, we're going to do it like this here. Okay? And do we need that one right there? That's too much. Okay, so we got that, right? And let me see if it'll let me do a split. It might make me do one at a time. Oh, nope. I have to do it one at a time. Because what I want to do, let's go for it. Yeah, let's go for it. I'm going to do a pipe. And I got to get a diameter. I'm going to make the diameter, I'm going to do a round cap. I'm going to make the diameter 0.03. And that's that size right there, like that. Oops. I'm going to do it again. 0.06. There we go, that's better. And now what I can do is that I'm going to select, edit, watch this little trick here. I was going to do an edit select objects by color, but I think my curves are on that same layer, so they're all the same color. Wouldn't help me. But I'm going to select all of these that I just created. And you notice how I could use my selection filter to filter down to the object that I want, which is that one. And I'm going to group those together. And now I can do what? Boolean difference. Got that. And then I'm going to come in and get this. Ooh, failed. Why'd you fail? Why'd you fail me, Boolean difference? Could be a number of reasons. Usually it's because you don't have proper intersection. And sometimes you have to do them one by one. But in this case, I don't want to do it that way. Wait a second. Because sometimes, like when you have intersecting pipes like these, this one has to be smaller than the other one. They have to have different diameters because there's a problem that occurs where they intersect there. And generally, what I'd like to do, let me do an edit. Let me see. I'm going to test one of them, see if two of them works. Let me try it again. If we have the similar problem now, then I'll know. Yeah, that's a pipe issue. What I'm going to do, what I would do in this case, I'm going to move this object to another layer. And I'm going to come down here, turn these off, and I'm going to do an edit, select objects, poly surfaces. I'm going to delete all of those. So I got my curve still. And now what I need to do, I need to take these and I'm going to split these using my point option in front of the surface, like that and like that. So that I can delete that little part right there, delete this little part right there. And I'm going to do a similar thing here, so that these don't intersect into the that edge over there. And so now, if I did a pipe, and difference, works like a charm. See that? So it's about how it goes into that edge that causes those problems. Do you follow? And when you do a rendered version, you get that nice little detail like that. You get that notch in the surface. Do you follow? And if you don't have these in there, it'll work for you a lot better. You can actually go in and just notch that out as you would normally. But that should provide you with a wealth of techniques that you could use to add details to your track mouse or to your or to any surface in general. That's how you begin to go out detailing. And the very last thing that I'm going to show you, which you should be familiar with, is once again taking like I'm going to use a circle in this case. I'm going to keep it real simple. Taking like a circular shape like that and doing a project. And you're going to take that curve and you're going to project it onto that surface. And you go to your perspective window and you've got that nice curve there. And you can always do a pipe and diff with that. So you pipe that. And we'll use, what was it, 0.06? And ooh. Now, this is a problem, okay? And I'll show you how to fix this problem. What's happened here, and let's hit F10, you look at this curve and it's not parameterized properly, okay? Because it's a projected curve. What I need to do with this is to take it and do a rebuild on it. And it's like a 63 and 40. So let's bump this up to 50 and do a preview, and that's a lot better. It's holding that edge right there, which we want, right? We lost a little bit of it there. And let's see if we get it back here. And let's do a pipe. And let's change it to 0.1. And now that went around okay, right? And now we can do a diff with that pipe. And we can notch out that surface. So you begin to see how you can divide up the surface of your mouse in interesting ways using some of these basic techniques. Okay, and that's your trackball mouse, and eventually, you know, you can explode the surfaces, organize them on KeyShot for rendering, and be off to the races. Okay, are there any questions? Huh?
You just changed the number of points to make it project, right?
What happened is that anytime you do a projection curve, a pull curve, or you bring in a curve from Illustrator or some outside program into Rhino, one of the things that you should always do is to reparameterize your curves so that the points are evenly distributed, or so that they are distributed better, so that you don't get the problems that you saw with the curve that you that you saw with that when I ran that pipe along it the first time. You know, and it's a reparameterization problem that you have to deal with, and especially with pipes, because pipes and the way that they're shaped has a lot to do with the way that points are spaced along a curve. Huh? So I just rebuilt it so that it was there, you even out the points and clean them up. Okay? And that's the end of that.